Okay, well, hello, Algebra 2 students. This video is a review for the retake test on the Unit 4 Rationals test. If you could please take out a piece of paper and follow along with your teacher on the review so that you can be prepared for a retake test. Okay, so on the next screen, you're going to go ahead and write this down. This is the directions. Find f of x. Oops, sorry about that. Find f of x minus g of x. So write that down. Okay, and then we're going to do the problem. Let me grab a different color. So now you're writing what I'm writing. So it says f of x. So we're going to write this first. And then it says a minus sign, the g of x. So we're going to write this second. Now this is adding and subtracting fractions. So when your denominator is the same, we don't have to worry about anything on the denominator. We're just going to do the tops. So same denominator. And then we just do the top. So what is negative 8x minus 19x? And I like to remember to pop that negative up so I don't forget. It's negative 8x minus 19x. So altogether, how many x's does that make? That's negative 27 x's, and that's our final answer. So you would type in this fraction into Otis. Now, if you're not sure how much negative 8x minus 19x is, you can use a calculator at home. On the calculator, you would use negative 8 minus 19 and hit enter on your calculator or equals, and it'll give you negative 27, and just make sure you have the x because it's got the x's in it, okay? All right, so this is when we have the same denominator. We just bring the same denominator over. On the next screen, we're going to have different denominators, so we have to get the same denominator. Okay, so write this down. Write the directions down. Hold on, my pen's not working. My pen's still not working. There we go. Write that down. That's the directions. Write down what I circled in red. So we're going to be adding this time. Okay, so it says f of x plus g of x. So let's write that down. Here's the f of x. So 2 over x squared minus 49 plus 7 over x minus 7. I'm just going to make this neater. Now you need to recognize that anything with x squared has to be a magic x. Magic x needs a middle. We don't have the middle, so we're going to change this to x squared plus 0x. I'm allowed to add 0 without changing the amount of the expression. It's okay to add 0. So I have to factor x squared plus 0x minus 49. So I'm going to do that off on the side, and so are you. So anything with an x squared means we have to do a magic x. Okay, so you're writing your magic x in the equation off on the side, just like me. Fill in your hidden 1. When we do a magic x, we multiply front and back. 1 times negative 49. 1 multiplies to negative 49 and gives us 0. And remember, you should be accessing your product factor chart in your Google Classroom. And that's under product factor chart, the second one. Whoops. Oh, I don't want to move that. There we go. Sorry about that. So if I open that up, 1 multiplies to 49 is on your magic x. It's right down here. 1 multiplies to 49. It's at the very bottom. 49 times 1 or 7 times 7. Okay, so now we're going to deal with 49 and 1 or 7 and 7. So those are the numbers we're going to talk about. So what multiplies to 49? 1 and 49 or 7 and 7. Which one, if I add or subtract them, would give me 0? Well, 7 minus 7 would equal 0. So not this set, not the 1 and 49, the 7 and negative 7. So we put 7 minus 7, and then we put the x in front. Okay, so why are we doing this? We need to have the same denominator in these two spots, and we don't have them, so we're going to make them the same. So we're going to change x squared minus 49, so you're writing what I have in blue. Instead of being x squared minus 49, we're going to factor that into our magic x of x plus 7, x minus 7. And then we're going to write the rest of the problem down. This one over here, 7 over x minus 7. Now we still don't have the same denominator, but we're getting there. So these are the steps to make them the same denominator. So after you do the magic x on the x squared minus 49, I'm going to erase this over here so I have some room to write. Now the step is multiply by what's missing. So you look at your two denominators. So write that step down. Multiply by what is missing. This one is missing something. What's it missing? Well, it has the x minus 7. It does not have the x plus 7. So I'm going to multiply by what's missing. Top and bottom needs to be multiplied by what was missing. Now the denominators match. Even though one starts with x plus 7, x minus 7, and the other one has the x minus 7 and then the x plus 7, it's okay. They can be out of order like that, but so don't let that bother you. Okay, so I'm going to draw my line a little bit bigger. So now that we have the same denominator, we can go same, same. So our final answer will have the same thing in the bottom. So we're working towards getting our final answer now. Now we just have to do the top. So we have to do the top part, and then we'll be all done. I'm trying to erase my highlighter, sorry. Okay, here we go. We have to do the top, just like the other one, okay? So 2, then it has 7 times x, so plus 7x. So we're distributing 7 times the back 7 would be 49. And now we just have to add up the 2 and the 49 and we'll be all done. So we're collecting like terms. Okay? So first we had to get the same denominators by multiplying by what's missing after we factored it with a magic x. And now we're going to add up like terms. 2 plus 49 is 51. So the answer is 7x plus 51 over x plus 7, x minus 7. That's our final answer. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This is a subtract problem. So write this down, please. And then I'm going to have you write a little bit more on there. So right now you're writing this. And now I want you to point to this. Okay, remember to distribute a negative, because many students forget that. So when it's a subtract, you have to make sure you notice that. Okay, let's write it up. So f of x first. So I'm going to copy the problem right here. X plus 5 on the top, x squared minus 2x minus 15 on the bottom. Already you should be thinking, just to tell you, I'm just saying, you should already be thinking about, ooh, I'm going to have to magic x that because it has an x squared in it. Then put your, oops, sorry, I'm on the wrong key. Let me grab a pen. Then put your minus sign for subtract. So subtract, and then the g of x1. Subtract 1 over x minus 5. Okay, they do not have the same denominators. For adding and subtracting fractions, we need the same denominator. So we're going to factor this one. So I'm going to put the parentheses there. I'm going to go over to the side, and I'm going to do my magic X, and you're writing this down. So we have to do the magic X on x squared minus 2x minus 15. Write that down. We're going to fill in our hidden 1, multiply front and back. Multiply front and back for negative 15, and these are the two numbers that go then on our magic X, the negative 15 and the middle number negative 2. And then you go to your product factor chart and you say what multiplies to 15. Well, 15 is 1 times 15 or 3 times 5. Which one by add or subtract would get us to that 2? Well, not the 1 and 15. But if I do 5 minus 3 or 3 minus 5, I get a 2. So we're going to use 3 and 5. Now, what kind of 3 and what kind of 5 in respect to positives and negatives gives us negative 2? So one trick is whatever the sign is down here on this bottom of the magic X, in this case it's a negative for the negative 2, take that sign to the bigger number. So don't take it to the 3, take it to the 5 because it's the bigger number. This trick works about 99% of the time. Then you can always check in a calculator. Is 3 minus 5 equal to negative 2? If you don't know that, you want to get the test right, you need to make sure these signs would be right. And you just enter on a calculator 3 minus 5. See if it is negative 2. It is. So that means we need a positive 3 and a negative 5 in our magic X, and then put in the X's in the front. So we went ahead and we factored that. X plus 3 and X minus 5. So first step is to get our denominators factored. Do you remember what the next step is? Multiply by what's what? Do you remember? Multiply by what's missing. And it's pretty easy to see. This one has the X minus 5. So this is the one that's missing, the X plus 3. So I'm going to multiply tops and bottoms by what's missing and extend my bar there. So X plus 3. Okay, now when you distribute on the top, you have to remember that negative, okay, for subtract. So what we're going to do is make sure we don't forget about that negative. It gets pounced up there. So negative 1 times this, negative 1 times that, right? Okay, so let's draw a bar. Let's put in our common denominator. Now let's do the top, right? So let's do the top. So I'm going to write down in the front X plus 5, and then I'm going to distribute. Sorry about that. Pen goes a little crazy at the end of the day. Okay, so negative 1 times X is negative 1X. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. I'm going to fill in my hidden 1, and I'm just going to add up the tops. So, like terms. So how much is 1x minus 1x? 0. And how much is 5 minus 3? 2. Now, you wouldn't put 0 plus 2. I get it. 1x minus 1x is 0, but we don't write the 0. And then 5 minus 3 is just 2. And then bring your denominator over, and that's what you would enter into Otis. Okay? All right, so that's adding and subtracting fractions with same denominator. Remember this one? Oops, hold on. Same, same, same. And we just had to do the tops, right? And then this one was different denominators. We had to factor with the magic X and then multiply by what's missing and then add up, combine like terms on the top, right? 3 steps there. And the next one, this was the subtract. We just had to remember to watch that we bring up that negative sign, right, when we have subtract. So don't forget to distribute the negative. So same idea. We had to factor to find out what was missing. Multiply the tops and the bottom by what was missing. Use the distribute right here. And then combine like terms for our final answer. Okay? All right, now we're going to go away from adding and subtracting. And we're just going to review because there's 2 of these on the test. This is the earlier work where we just factor and then cancel. So what I want you to write down is this direction, and then you can write down factor and cancel. Write down f of x over g of x. And factor cancel. Okay, so draw one big bar. It says to put the f of x on the top. So we're going to put x squared minus 10x plus 25 on the top. And it says to put the g of x on the bottom. So we're going to put x squared minus 8x plus 15 on the bottom. Anything with x squared means magic x. So let's do this. Let's draw a bar. And let's put our parentheses in for the top and the bottom. And then we're going to factor them one at a time. So let's get started by factoring the top, and we'll put our answer right there, okay? So here we go. Magic X that. Hidden 1. Multiply front and back for 25. So positive 25 and negative 10. What multiplies to 25 and would get us to 10? Well, 5 times 5 is 25 and gets us to 10. Now we need to add up to negative 10. Well, positive 5 and positive 5 adds up to positive 10. How much is negative 5 plus negative 5 more? Negative 10. Negative 5 and another negative 5 adds up or combines to negative 10. If you're not sure, then you go on a calculator, because signs matter, okay, in factoring. And you would enter it like this, negative 5 minus 5, what does that equal? And hit enter on your calculator, it'll tell you negative 10. This is not the rule negative times negative is positive, if you're getting confused. If you were to multiply these, then we would have parentheses, and a negative times a negative is a positive. But it would be positive 25, wouldn't it? 5 times 5 is 25. Negative times negative is positive. We're not doing that, so don't think 2 negatives makes a positive. Use a calculator if you're not so good at that. Negative 5 with another negative 5 adds up to a total of 10 negatives. Okay? Add your x's. Put it in here. And now we have to factor the bottom with a magic x. Okay. So now we have to factor the bottom with a magic x. And whatever we get, we're going to put down here. We'll be done with our factoring, and then we'll be able to go ahead and cancel what matches. Okay, so let's do a magic x. Hidden 1, multiply front and back. 1 times 15 is positive 15. What multiplies to 15 and will get us to a negative 8? Well, what multiplies to 15? Either 15 and 1 or 3 and 5. 3 and 5 gets us to an 8. But I don't need positive 8. 3 plus 5 is positive 8. -3 and 5 more negatives would make -8. So this is x minus 3, x minus 5. So that's what we fill in to our factoring. And now, drum roll, now you cancel what's matching. And obviously the x minus 5 on the top matches with the x minus 5 on the bottom, and you can cancel. One from the top, one from the bottom are allowed to be canceled. Whatever's left is your final answer. So it's the top has an x minus 5 with an x minus 3 underneath, and that's your final answer. Factor cancel. Okay, one more. You can always hit pause on this video if you need extra time. All right, so write this down for the direction. I'm going to too because I'm going to have you add some notes. Okay, for division, you must remember to flip over the g of x. So let's get this set up. Change pens, write that down. For division, you flip over the g of x. So here's the g of x. So what's on top goes to the bottom. What's on the bottom goes to the top. We flip it over. So draw one big bar. Okay, write down the first one, f of x. So just take this and move it over. See how that looks exactly the same as the f of x? Now the g of x you have to flip over. So what is on the bottom goes to the top. So x squared minus 4 goes to the top. And leave a little bit of space, you guys, okay? And what's on top goes to the bottom. So the x squared plus 3x plus 2. So when you do division, you change it to multiply and you flip the back fraction. Okay, so that's what we did. All right, now you have to decide what needs to be factored. What did I tell you at the beginning? Anything with x squared means what? Use the magic x. So there's two spots where I need a magic x. Right here, because it has x squared, and right here on the bottom, because it has x squared. The other two items do not have x to the second power, or x squared. It's just x. So let's get started with our final answer by drawing a straight line. So the 3x is just 3x. That's all. The x minus 2 on the bottom is just x minus 2. Put parentheses around it because it's two pieces. And eventually that will get canceled when we do the magic x's for this stuff or this stuff. So let's get started. When we do a magic x, we need two parentheses. Let's get started on the top with x squared minus 4. Remember, add in 0 into the middle when something is missing because all magic x's need 3 pieces. We need some room here, so let me erase. So when you don't have anything in the middle, you add in a 0x, right? Okay, well, this should be easy. Fill in hidden 1, multiply front and back. What multiplies to a -4 and gives us 0? Well, 2 and 2, because it's not 4 and 1. So what kind of 2 and 2 gives us 0? 2 minus 2 is 0, so this one has to be a positive. Put in your x's, and that magic x is done. X plus 2, x minus 2. And look, you can see where things are going to cancel already, can't you, on the bar? Okay, we got to do another magic x on the bottom. So fill in a hidden 1. Multiply front and back. 1 times 2 is 2. Put your numbers in your magic x. What multiplies to 2 on the top? Well, that's easy. 1 times 2. And 1 plus 2 will be 3. So that's an easy one. 2 times 1 multiplies to 2 and adds up to 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. So put those in your magic x. So x plus 1, x plus 2. Okay, factor, done. Cancel. So cancel what you can. Cancel, 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 and get your final answer and see if it matches with mine. You write yours down first, and then I'll write mine down. Cancel, 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 and write your final answer. Okay, my final answer would be 3x over x plus 1. That would be my final answer. How about you? So, x minus 2, x minus 2, x plus 2, x plus 2, and there you go. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this review and I hope you do well on your test. Please try hard. Use a calculator when needed if the signs, if you have trouble with your signs, okay? Have a great day.